guys. Welcome back to another episode. Today, I wanted to talk about specifically scarcity, abundant mindsets, how to go from a state of desperation to aspiration. How do you go? My final point is how do you go from proving people wrong to proving the people who believe in you right? During probably the worst times in my life have come the best, most pivotal moments of my growth. I'm keeping it vague. Uh, it was about, I don't even know how long, maybe 3 years, a little bit, 3.5, almost 4 years ago. Um, the girl I was dating at the time broke up with me, and it was my first love, and it shook me terribly to the point where I didn't know how to handle it, to be honest. I just remember telling myself that I never wanted to be in a position like that again. So naturally, proving your ex wrong, typical playbook, right? I I got the energy to I got the forbidden fuel in that sense. I wanted to prove her wrong originally. I have to admit that. I was like, I never wanted to be in this place again. Like everything that I did towards my career, I felt like was pushing me away from the person who I was. The person who was mistreated or the person who I felt like was wronged in that sense. And it was a lot of proving her wrong for a while, actually. It's 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 forbidden fuel, as either I think Chris William mentioned it in one of his seminars. It's toxic, it's potent, it's effective. Okay? However, it's not sustainable. I'd argue maybe my mental health wasn't the best at the time. I focused purely on my career, but it took extreme measures. I thought to myself, I remember back in the day, like, I have nothing to lose. Everything that I do is pushing me to get towards where I want to go. And I truly believe that. I still believe that to this day. However, fast track 3 years, I'm not trying to prove her wrong anymore. It's more so, how do I help? How do I prove the people who do believe in me right, that their trust is well put? I struggled with it for a while after. Over time, it wasn't to prove her wrong anymore. It was for myself. And even that, like, I struggle with it today sometimes. But I remember asking one of my mentors, and she told me, Kenzie, instead of proving people wrong, you prove the people who believe in you now that they're right, which is less potent, less effective, I might add, but more sustainable and more healthy. You also have to see that it's a different time. If when you are transitioning from this state of toxic potent fuel to sustainable, proving people right in a healthy mindset, focusing on yourself for yourself. It's a different frame of mind. It's a different state of mind, frame of reference. Because the growth that you put in is no longer for others, it's for yourself. It's for yourself and the people who believe in you. And it's still like, I'd argue like it's still something I just struggle with today. If like, how do I make the people who believe in me proud? And that goes to like imposter syndrome of like, oh, like, am I really the right person? Do they really have like the right trust in place? I don't know. But you have to believe that people believe in you for a reason. They see something in you that you may not see in yourself. And in that belief, you have to be the best that you can. Perform the best. Be the best person you can be. For yourself, number one. But number two, for the people who believe in you. Your friends, your parents, your loved ones, your mentees. Yeah. And to me, that correlates also with like another word you can use instead of like this toxic potent fuel, this forbidden fuel, right? Is going from a state of desperation to aspiration, from scarcity to abundant. It might sound like they're all three different things, but they're all the same. Going from a scarcity to an abundant mindset is saying, like, is believing in yourself and in the opportunities in your future, in the positive things that will come. A phrase that I love, and I probably used it on another episode, but it's like a bird, when it landing on a branch, doesn't worry about the branch breaking. It's because it believes in its own wings and its ability to fly. If you're constantly worried and anxious and in this scarcity mindset that nothing better will come for you, then nothing else better will come to you. For those of you who believe in the law of attraction, I don't, but this is it. Like, you know those times where you're like, oh, please don't, please, like in class, and like the teacher's about to try to find someone to call on, and you're like, oh, like don't call on me, don't, and then they call on you. Scarcity mindset. Maybe part of it is being delusional, and that's okay too. I don't think being delusional is a bad thing. I think there's a balance. I think there's you can't be too delusional. But I believe in the naive mentality, the naive optimism, blind optimism, if you will. I love it because I exhibit that every day. Like at work, I don't know what I'm doing half the time, but I believe fully that I can figure it out if I'm tasked. And you have to believe in that. You have to believe in your ability to solve things, to do things. You have to build that resume, if you will, of undeniable proof, as David Goggins would say, that you mentally keep in your head, or a physical list if that works for you. You always hear the phrase, you've survived 100% of the bad days that you've had. All the problems that you've had, you've gotten over. It's true. Sometimes you don't think about it. But leaning into that delusion, leaning into that proof that you can handle everything that's come at you, it allows you to have an abundant mindset, in the sense where You don't have to worry about the problems as much. Time will pass. It's a famous, I think, some folklore legend story about a king who wanted something engraved. It was a John Cena. It was a John Cena scene in like Jimmy Fallon or something. John Cena carries around a coin that says, "This too shall pass." When times are good, this too shall pass. When times are bad, this too shall also pass. Achieving things you never thought were possible. Being in rooms you never thought were possible. Having experiences you never thought were possible comes from having an abundant mindset. Comes from a state of self-belief and delusion that it far exceeds the one you have right now. You need that. Because without it, what's the alternative? You think you're worse than everyone? You're scared, you're anxious about everything? How are you going to get anywhere in life with that mentality? If you take no risk, there's no reward. If there is a reward, it's going to be like tiny. If you're okay with that, then that's the conversation you need to have with yourself. Maybe you shouldn't be listening to this podcast. If that's the case, if you want that tiny guaranteed potential success. We're trying to be better. We're trying to be better than ourselves. To be more than who you are, you have to believe in it. To be someone that you are not yet, it's an identity change. True change is identity change. The goal is to not run 5 miles, it's to become a runner. The goal is not to paint the Mona Lisa, it's to become a painter. What would a painter do? What would a runner do? Put yourselves in those shoes. If you're trying out a new hobby, don't try to run 5 miles when you've never run in your life. Try to fall in love with the process. Be outside for as long as you can. Even if you're walking, be outside. Because the longer you are outside, the longer you'll end up walking. The longer you'll end up running, if you like it. And through these actions that you do, being outside, you're building that self-trust. Over time, you'll be that runner. You'll be that artist that you aspire to be. But that comes from having an abundant mindset and being more than who you are right now. It's starting imperfectly. It's aspiring to be better. It starts with that. It's even thinking that you can achieve that. It's having that right mentality too. A large part of success, I believe, is your mentality. Whether it's your perspective, your frame of reference, your community environment is important. But the one thing you can control, if anything, is your mentality. That's why reading is important. That's why research is important. That's why physical health is important, is because it all has to do with your frame of reference, your mentality. That's where it starts. You can be the most fit person in the world, but if you don't think you can run a 5K, you're not running that 5K. But if you're the biggest person in the world who is not athletic at all, and you think you can run a 5K, you have the mentality, you have the willpower, you believe in yourself, I don't have a doubt that you can achieve it. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. It's not a matter of if you'll achieve something, it is a matter of when. If you do something long enough, you'll get good at it. That's a no-brainer. And I truly believe that anything in life, if you really want it, call it manifestation. I believe you can get it. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And that comes with having an abundant mindset. And if it's not this, it's something better. Or it's something for you. It's better for you. You have to believe that. So go out there. Prove to the people who believe in you, your friends, your family, your loved ones, that their trust in you is well put. You have to believe that you can achieve more to be more. Desperation and scarcity, that potent fuel, that forbidden fuel, use it as much as you can, but eventually when it runs out, now you know what to do. Thank you. Thank you guys for listening to my rant. It's good to be back. I'll see you guys next.